uh, changing, right? Sometimes good change that you want, it all requires a sacrifice. I've learned the hard way many, many times that leveling up does mean letting go. You can't take everything with you when you growing just by virtue of changing, by expanding, by getting new things, by getting better at something, always means that something gets left behind, and they sort of go part and parcel. And I didn't realize this for a long time, and that makes it very difficult for a person like me who likes to hang on to things sometimes for a long time, way longer than many people would say a person should. And how I've realized, and especially in one particular instance that we'll get to today, how hanging on to something, right, was preventing me from leveling up, from getting good changes in my life. And as I look back on the choice that I was making at the time, realizing, wow, I would have been way better off letting go of this thing that I was so desperately hanging on to. And that makes me think about right now, what am I desperately hanging on to in my life that I would probably be better served to let go? And maybe what are you hanging on to? If this sounds like you, then we are on the same page today. So hello, I am Owen. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you joining as always. We are live, so give me a shout. Let me know that you're here. I'd love to say hello. If you are watching on YouTube, please subscribe. I'd love to have you subscribe to the channel. Just hit the subscribe button below this video. And then here on Facebook, join our group for Abundance Hackers. Abundance Hackers are folks who know how to find creative solutions to support themselves and stay in service to the people around them, no matter what. So there, I've just put a link in the chat. Join the group. We'd love to have you. So, Tom, what's up? I hope you won that game. We'll talk about that later. So, I used to have this Honda, this little blue Honda, and I got it in 2000. It was a 2001 Honda, and I drove this little car around. It belonged to my sister, and then we traded cars in college, and then I hung on to it. I lived here in LA. I was grateful to have a car for a long time and not have to worry about it in a car where you really need a city where you really need a car. So I was just like, my plan will just be to drive this thing into the ground. And it became part of my life. It became ingrained with me to the point that I just sort of kept this car around for almost 20 years. This car, I mean, look, it kept driving because Hondas are amazing cars. But I kept this old car around, and there are so many things that I just did not like about driving any longer, which is a problem if you live in a city like LA, like I do, because driving is at least it was a pretty major part of life when we were out and about. So a lot of these things I just would avoid getting in my car. I would avoid going places or going to see people because I wanted to avoid having extra trips in the car. So eventually, I did get to the point when this car is just driven into the ground. Finally, just done. No point in putting any more money into it whatsoever. So get rid of it, and then get connected with this brand new car. I'm like, you know what? Whatever. I just need another car. I don't think much of cars at this point because I've had this little crappy one forever, and then get hooked. I'm like, I just need another, basic Honda, and I get another basic Honda, and it turns out that you might already know this. In 20 years, technology in cars has changed quite a bit. So in just this basic Honda, there's so many tools, technology, and fixes to all of these problems that have made me hate driving in the past. They're all fixed, and they've been fixed for years. They've been fixed for so many years. I could have had this. I could have had this convenience in my life, but I didn't have it. Because instead of getting that convenience, which I needed to have a new car to get, I chose to hang on to the familiar, to the current, because I didn't want to let go. So my desire to not let go kept me from having awesome things in my life. And I see that now, particularly in this instance. And it really makes me think, what else am I hanging on to in my life that if I were to let go, amazing things would be there right after, right? leveling up in terms of the technology, even just in my car, as simple as something like that, leveling up is not available if you don't let go. I was not available to me until I let go of my connection with my old car, whatever that was, whatever that emotional connection or mindset that I had put together in my mind that said it was a good idea to hang on to this. I needed to let go of that in order to level up to get the new technology, and I couldn't do that until I did that. So fear of letting go prevents you from leveling up, from moving forward. So if you are in this situation right now, you've got something that you're really hanging on to, yet at the same time, you're not feeling totally satisfied. You feel like there's something more that you want out there and that you're not really where you want to be, then here's what you can do. So take a look at, first of all, what it is that you're sort of, what you're wanting, and then what it is that you're hanging on to. So in this case, as I'm driving around this beater car, I know that I want to get a nicer car at some point. I do feel like a little embarrassed sometimes driving it up to a valet or what have you. I know I want to get a nicer car at some point, but I'm not doing it. So at this point, I'm making the choice between a new car, stay with what I know, right? So then I have to, really stick there and pick. What is it you really want? The comfort of sticking with what it is that you know, or the awesomeness of your new car? Okay? So make a choice. Make a choice. You have to make a choice. Pick a choice. Which one do you really want more? And then the next piece is when you do make a choice, that does mean that you are saying no to the other choice. So take a minute to grieve that other choice that you're not moving with, because it was a difficult decision for you for a reason. You have some attachment, you have some connection to both of these decisions, both of these paths, and one of them is not going to be the route that you're going to take, at least right now. So it is okay to take a moment and give yourself the space to be like, yeah, I just gave myself a very difficult decision. I honor myself for being strong and making the decision and not just sitting on the fence the whole time and letting things go. And that it's okay to feel a little sad, or not remorse or whatever, but a little sad, like, okay, this is not going to be part of my life, but then move forward so that you can move forward. And then that is the next step, is to move forward. Make sure that you do move forward. Once you pick your next direction, you grieve the choice that you've left behind, move forward. Get into action right away. Get into action right away. It's the best way to level up, and it's the best way to move past whatever sadness or connection that you had to whatever it is that you left behind, in order to level up. And quite frankly, I'm sure that you will find, as I'm sure you know already, as we all do, that every time we level up, all those things that I've left behind, I don't really miss so much anymore. I had a lot of really, really good years with that car, with my old Honda Pokey, as my sister called it. But you know what? I like my new car. I'm very happy with it, and I'm really glad that I'm not driving around a beat-up 20-year-old Honda any longer. So if you are ready to put down your beat-up 20-year-old Honda and move into the future and to see what kind of things leveling up has available to you right this very minute, then go ahead and do it. Go on to owenjward.com, and I got some more information for you there. Just fill out that form and I got a special guide for you. So thank you so much for joining today. Tom, thanks for stopping by. I hope that you are having a great weekend. If there's something you're hanging on to, feel free to just let it go. See what happens. Tell me all about it. And I will talk to you tomorrow.